Now let's talk a bit more about the current security situation in the country. And joining me is a retired colonel and security expert, Colonel Francis Okosun. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you so much, Ijoma.
I think we're getting to the point where we're running out of adjectives to qualify our security situation. But just looking at it, we wake up almost every day to hear some bloodshed. What do you think?
Well, what I see crystallizing before our very eyes is the dawn of yet another season of discontent. We have had to deal with such appearances every now and again, but somehow we don't seem to be able to get a grip, a handle on the whole issue. And so we have it coming up and going away, dealing with it, and it comes back again. So that's, I think, where we are right now.
Well, it isn't just one issue, like I was going to say. You know, you have different aspects of it. There's the Benue killings, there's the security threats. Let's start with the Benue killings, or let's start with, the Benue killings. What do you make of that, seeing that the government is now talking about setting up a committee, etc.? Is that the sort of response that you would be expecting at this time?
Well, I want to deal with the causative and not the result of a failure. To my mind, I think the elements that in the military would say forward edge of the battle area, the elements that are there are the Department of State Service, the DSS, and the Nigeria Police. These are elements that have personnel down to the local government level. They are the ones who are to comb and send information forth, which will be processed and used as intelligence. As it is, these things keep coming up. It can only point to one thing, that is not being done. That is to say, there is no permeation of the system, of the society, by these elements to be able to come up with useful information, timely useful information. That's my take.
Yeah, but one of the reasons it's important to look at the reaction to it is because, as you said, it continues to happen. I mean, the killings have not stopped. And then there was this other report talking about the fact that the government could as well just dust their shelves and find reports of various committees that have, you know, they've offered some solution or the other to the herdsman killing. So why do we have to go through that whole process again, and importantly, because the killing is continuing?
It is continuing.
Yes.
Now, deal with those who are responsible. You have an apparatus to investigate and find out those who have been responsible, who are responsible for this, catch them, bring them forward, and put them through the course of law. I'm sure the extant laws in the land will know how to deal with such misdemeanor, such malfeasance.
Well, the other aspect of it is the Boko Haram violence. You see the little pockets of resistance coming up again. But one of the key questions is when they attack a particular community or village, time and time again, Madagali is in the news it's in the news today, it was in the news yesterday. Should it not occur to whoever's in charge of, you know, securing that area, that even if you can't find wherever these terrorists may be elsewhere, at least where they come all the time, is there no coordinated effort to secure that particular area?
I won't be the one to give the answer to that coordinated effort. The people on the ground, that is the people who are in the theater of operations, will know why they are not getting this right. However, if the DSS, I repeat, if the DSS will be up to their game, they will be able to tell you in good time that we have this and that indication or indicator that would suggest that such attacks are likely. And then they are not the ones who make use of such information. The forces who make use of such information. That is not to say that the military intelligence too cannot. But like I always tell people, the military intelligence does set piece operations and pull out of such places. The people who are forever on ground are the DSS and the police. So one might want to say something here. It would appear that these elements are overstretched. And if they are overstretched, someone should be honest enough to come up and say, we require either a boost in strength, equipment, training, or whatever.
Well, they have been saying that. I mean, even on the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, we had an expert who was speaking as well, and he did say, yes, the military is overstretched. But when you continue to hear that, and you continue to, people continue to see bloodshed daily, I don't know how you put it
When I said
together.
overstretched, I'm not talking about the military. Here, in this particular instance, I'm talking about the DSS and the police. Like I said, they are the ones who would go down to the local government and community level to bring what information is necessary for the planner, the tactical and strategic planner to use.
Are we not talking about the same police force that are losing people every day on the front? Because you find that even when they are dispatched to that certain place, they are part of those who are casualties. So I don't think they need to specifically come out and tell us that they're overstretched. So the issue now is solutions, because there's enough talk.
I am giving you a solution, Ijoma. A police guard is not the same thing as an intelligence gatherer. The policeman who is on guard duties, yes, he can come up with information, but that is not the end of it. I would repeat, you see, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security in the U.S. will come up with information that will be used for planning purposes, if you get what I'm saying. So these are the equivalent we have in Nigeria, and these are the elements, these are the organizations, these are the agencies that must up their game and come up with information. Without information, for example, the battalion commander is not going to deploy troops because he has no information.
And speaking of upping their game, looking at the renewed threat from the Niger Delta Avengers, talking about starting that all over again, what do you make of the DSS's response to that at this time? I mean, there's enough to deal with.
Yes.
So what do you make of that?
What does the DSS response say?
But their response is that at this time, they're not speaking about it at this time until the government themselves give them the directive to do something concrete. We had that story as well. Well, what would you do in a situation like this?
If I was the DSS, I would not deal with the Avengers. If I was the DSS, I want to find out about the Avengers, their motive, their aims, their disposition, and all such like information about them, with which I can form a picture, with which I can advise the taskmaster, with which I can advise the command, well, the political command. That's it.
All right, the retired colonel and the security expert, Colonel Francis Okosu, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us on the news at 10 tonight.
Thanks for having me, Joma.
And your award-winning Channels Television has recorded another milestone in its determination to remain the viewer's first choice at all times. The station has entered into a partnership with the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, to produce a 30-minute weekly magazine show. The program, which is expected to hit the screen soon, is an English-language current affairs program focusing on behind-the-news stories with active social media interactivity. Elements of the show will also include incisive reportage, in-depth analysis and intelligent interviewing about topical issues deemed relevant to Nigerians. Channels Television already has such collaborations with other international media organizations like the Voice of America and Deutsche Welle. To legal matters now, a high court in Oyo State has nullified the review of the 1957 Olubadan Chieftaincy Declaration and other related chieftaincies in Ibadan land by the Justice Akintunade Boade Review Commission. Now, that's the legal document that recommended the creation of several monarchs in Ibadan and eventually led to the installation of 21 kings by the state governor, Abiola Ajimobi. The trial judge, Justice Olajumoke Aiki, describes the review process as unconstitutional, illegal and of no effect. The court ruled that the provisions of Parts 2 and 3 of the chief laws, particularly Sections 10, 12 and 25, did not give power to the governor to review the Olubadan Chieftaincy Declaration, while also restraining the government from accepting and implementing the reports of the commission. The suit was initiated by the Oshi Olubadan of Ibadan land, Rashidi Ladoja, with Governor Ajimobi as co-defendant. All right, now let's cross over to Abuja now, and here's Ibrahim Adra. Ibrahim.
Ejoma, nice to see you as always. Now we begin with this piece of sad news coming from Nasarawa, say that one person has been confirmed killed and 15 others injured following a fresh outbreak of Lassa fever in that state. This was confirmed to Channels Television Lafia by the Director of Public Health of the State Minister of Health, Dr. Ibrahim Adamu. According to him, relatives of the deceased person have all been tested and are under surveillance at the Federal Medical Center in Kefi.
Past 2 months, we've had a couple of suspected cases of Lassa in Nasarawa State, and all of them turned out negative. We've screened about 15 people. All of them are negative except for one that we made a diagnosis posthumously as a positive case. So out of all the 15 that we suspected, only one was confirmed to have Lassa fever. At all times, we do a sensitization, we conduct sensitization activities by putting radio and television jingles in the media houses. We're also doing sensitization workshop for the health workers, and then we have also pre-positioned the drugs that we use for the treatment, the injectable ribavirin and oral ribavirin, and also the personal protective equipment that health workers wear in order to attend to these patients. And we've also tried to inform and encourage the communities to maintain a high level of personal and environmental hygiene, to have rat-proof environments, and also do away with rats as much as they can, cover their food in rat-proof containers. And those are the measures that we have put in place, and they're ongoing. They are things we normally do as a Lassa fever endemic state.
And now to the issue of fuel scarcity that has simply refused to go away. The Petroleum Products Marketing Company, PPMC, is insisting that the amount of premium motor spirit imported into the country is enough for the entire nation. And this is according to the Managing Director of the PPMC, Mr. Umar Ajia, who believes that if petrol is not available in some areas, it is because the product is being either hoarded or smuggled out of the country. Mr. Ajia, who was on our program Sunrise Daily, says NNPC is willing to allow private oil marketers to import the product into the country to reduce the burden on the state oil company.
There is no blessed day that we don't bring one cargo of PMS into this country. And one cargo on average is 50 million liters. So clearly, if we are consuming less than 35 million liters a day, then it's a natural question that where is the excess going? We have the belief and reports, indications that most of this product is either hoarded or smuggled outside the country.
By who, though?
Of course, by the marketers. And the fact is that the security agencies are on this case, and we hope that sooner or later some people will be apprehended and shown the appropriate sanctions. NNPC is not desirous of being a 100% importer of this product, because for one, being a 100% importer puts severe burden on our financial position as a corporation. So it's a welcome idea that if there are opportunities for private oil marketers to import, we gladly welcome that idea. And as far as we are concerned, the act establishing us, and the National Assembly knows clearly that in that same act, there's a proviso that we can run our operations and recover our cost fully.
You're saying there's nothing like subsidy, but we know that the landing cost is 171 and you're selling at 145. Somebody is paying that 26 naira difference. There must be subsidy, not so?
There's a difference between the landing cost and the price we're selling. Clearly, yes. But what I'm saying is that is part of our cost structure.